All right, you guys, welcome to everybody. Today we're going to have a pretty cool conversation on some pretty cool stuff. So we're going to talk about currency, not the current in the sea, but the introduction to esoteric symbolism in currency. So the first episode of our deep dive into the fascinating world of esoteric symbolism and currency. And I'm your host, Patrick, and today we're going to embark on a journey through history, symbolism, and the secret messages hidden in the very money we use every day. But before we start, let's set the scene with an overview of esoteric symbolism and its significance both historically and in the modern world. I'm trying to get my stuff right here, guys. I'll show you. I'll share with you. So, okay, give me just a second. All right, so it's going to take me a second, guys. You're going to have to be patient with me on this. So just hang in there. We'll get through it. I promise. I want to do this here. That's what I want to do. Okay. So esoteric symbolism refers to symbols and imagery, and they convey hidden and arcane or mystical meanings. Unlike common symbols that we see every day, which are understood just by the general public, esoteric symbols are often known as those to initiate or initiated those who are aware, privy to it, into a particular knowledge or tradition, and it welcomes them into that knowledge or tradition. And these symbols can be found in religious texts. So secret societies and, well, interesting enough, in our own currency. So that's where this comes into play. Symbols have been used for centuries to convey complex ideas succinctly and powerfully. They transcend language barriers and they communicate concepts really fast. The significance of esoteric symbolism is in its ability to encode profound meanings into simple things. So things that you and I would see as just, oh, that's that, has a much deeper meaning to it. And the encoding gives or allows for preservation and transmission of that knowledge across generations and cultures. And that's what we are not privy to in every aspect or every way. Okay, so let me move on to another image. I got to do this manually. I just don't know how I'm learning how to do all this, so bear with me. I shouldn't have to do this every time, but it's okay. You know what? I think I can do this, and then that way I can just keep changing it. Okay, that works. Okay, so why symbols are used in currency? So you might be wondering why symbols are used in currency. And well, money isn't just a medium of exchanges. It isn't just a thing that goes between two people for something, an exchange for something else. It represents a value. It also represents a trust, believe it or not, and it represents an authority. So by embedding symbols into what you use every day, societies can convey values and beliefs and power structures. And these symbols can represent or present again a national identity. In other words, a volunteering or a participation in a particular subject or a particular group or a particular membership. You get it? Also, historical events. So certain things that happen, we believe that these things are just things that we do, traditions, but they're actually participatory In other words, they require your involvement, and your involvement makes you a member facially. In other words, if you don't put it somewhere else that you're not a member, that you're just there to enjoy the private things that you get out of it, then you're presumed to be accepting benefits as well. That's just something we got to get used to, folks. You got to get used to your authority and knowing when to say no, but you got to give notice of no before it comes, before you pay the piper. I'm going to talk to you guys more about this, the members. I'm going to talk with you more about it because I just got another book that I'm going to be sharing with you on, it's a lot of hidden knowledge. So I'll be sharing that with you guys as members, and that'll be very soon here. So the symbols can represent a national identity, historical events, cultural heritage, and covert messages intended for select audiences. So other people can receive it as, I don't know, some kind of message, whatever you could think of a message. In many cultures, currency designs is a serious affair. So they really have people that go and make designs of these things. They create these brand new versions of these things, and it reflects the country's ethos, beliefs, or aspirations. Symbols on currency range from national emblems to historical figures to mythological beings to abstract designs, and each symbol is carefully chosen to instill a sense of pride, continuity, and legitimacy. So let's take a quick tour through the history of currency design and understand how symbols have been incorporated over the ages. And that did not switch again, so I'm going to have to switch the screen with you guys, and then I'll share with you again. And I'll fix this, believe me. This one right here. There you go. Okay. In ancient civilizations, such as Egypt and Mesopotamia, currency often took the form of precious metals that were stamped with various symbols. So these early forms of money, like shekels and drachmas, bore images of gods, kings, and mythological creatures. And these symbols were not just decorative, they conveyed the divine right of rulers and the protection of deities. For instance, in ancient Greece, coins often depicted gods and goddesses like Athena and Zeus, signifying divine favor and legitimacy. In Rome, emperors' portraits were prominently featured on coins, and they asserted their power and their authority over certain things and dominion over certain things. That is pretty clear. The Vatican has its own coins as well, guys, so you can get a coin with the Pope on it if you want to. No comment. So moving forward to the medieval period, currency designs continued to evolve. Okay, let me. I'll just leave this here. The coins from the era often featured intricate designs, coats of arms, and religious symbols. For example, the fleur-de-lis on French coins symbolized the Holy Trinity and the divine right of kings. During the Renaissance, the art of coinage reached new heights with the introduction of more sophisticated techniques. Coins began to reflect the humanist ideals of the period, featuring detailed portraits of rulers with allegorical figures representing virtues like justice and wisdom. Let me go and I'll share this one here. And I should have just put these all up in windows and shared the window one window to the next. I don't know. See, I got all these open here and I can't even switch one to the next. So I apologize about that. So during the let's go on. Moving modern era. In the modern era, the advent of paper money, we have introduced new canvas for symbolism. The early banknotes were often adorned with elaborate designs to prevent counterfeiting and convey trust. The United States, for instance, incorporated symbols like the bald eagle, representing freedom, and the all-seeing eye, hinting at the influence of Freemasonry and Enlightenment. So I'll tell you something. If you guys look, you can look in Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall, and you will see that the phoenix is the eagle now. Okay, it was a conversion because they can't leave the phoenix on there. The phoenix is destruction and doomsday and renewal, and there's a lot of good and bad affiliated with that. Depending on how you look at it, but that is what they don't want people to put together. And if you start putting those things together, then they start making sense. And I've got a fly in my house, and it's really bothering me. So today, currency design remains a blend of artistry and security, with symbols continuing to play a crucial role. From the euro featuring bridges and gateways symbolizing unity and cooperation to the intricate designs of Japanese yen, every aspect of modern currency design is imbued with meaning. And I'll get you another one. There we go. Sorry about this. This is a pain in my rear. Okay, so esoteric symbols. Let's dive deeper into some specific examples of esoteric symbols found in currency and what they represent. So the all-seeing eye is one of the most recognizable esoteric symbols, often depicted with a triangle. This symbol appears on the reverse side of the Great Seal of the United States and on the $1 bill. That all-seeing eye represents divine providence watching over humanity. In association with Freemasonry adds another layer of mystery, suggesting wisdom and enlightenment. It could also be domination, because it's an unfinished pyramid. The Latin motto "Annuit coeptis" translates to "He has favored our undertakings," further emphasizing the idea of divine approval and guidance. Now, the thing that they're not telling you is divine approval and guidance of what? Of who? Of who? They're not, like, believe me when I tell you that this is not about God. Okay? Because if it was, then God would be on this stuff. It wouldn't be symbols, a bunch of symbols. And one of the 10 basic rules is, don't worship a false idol. So, I mean, already we're getting into things that we can't even deal with. Okay. So the unfinished pyramid beneath the eye signifies the ongoing project of nation building in the pursuit of perfection. Or so they say. This is the all-seeing eye. I'll show you a picture of that. Okay, so there's the all-seeing eye. That is he has favored our undertakings, and the Ouroboros. And this is another fascinating symbol, and I'm gonna have to get to that because I gotta show you the guys that one. That is this one. This is it. Oop, it's not. There we go. Oops, there we go. All right. So another fascinating symbol is the Ouroboros, a serpent or dragon eating its own tail. Okay. So this ancient symbol of eternity and cyclicality, in other words, going around and round, has appeared on various currencies throughout the history. It represents concept of eternal return or cyclical nature of life, the unity of opposites. Okay. That is, so there's, when there's symbolism, there's always a good version of the translation, and there's always a dark version of that translation. So it's important that you guys know that there's a difference between the two. Okay. Ouroboros was featured on the currency of ancient Egypt. It symbolized the eternal circle of life, death, and rebirth. And in modern times, variations of this can be found in currency designs of countries influenced by esoteric traditions. Okay, moving on. Okay, the phoenix is a mythological bird that rises from its ashes. Okay, it symbolizes renewal, resurrection, and immortality. And it's been used on currency to convey the idea of national rebirth or recovery. For instance, during times of economic crisis or after wars, imagine that. Some nations have incorporated the phoenix into their currency to symbolize a fresh start and hope for the future. So I will tell you guys that it not only happens with that for that reason, but it also happens because they're using this symbolism. Okay, I don't know how to explain this so it makes sense to you guys. There are cataclysmic events that occur every period of years, okay? And we've talked about this before. And I'm on board with that being consistent because it can be proven that weren't things that existed during those times. And 1902 being the last one, the next one being 2040. So, and that's, that fits all of the timeline schedules as well with everything else that's happening. But the phoenix is symbolized as a rebirth, and it's rewritten in a lot of different books historically, where people have seen the phoenix during these times that they call resets. And it doesn't happen everywhere. It happens in isolated areas where other areas don't know about it. And here's the thing, is that oftentimes it is depicted as a war event, like it's a war event. And it's not necessarily a war event. It's an isolated incident that happens anyways, and it's blamed on that because people don't want other people to know what is really happening. And this is just something that has been happening for as far back as we can track history, and even some that we can't track. So the phoenix was famously featured on the proposed design for the euro, and that's a common currency for the European Union. Although it was ultimately not adopted, the symbolism, unity, and renewal, however, remains integral to the concept of the euro. And that's, well, renewal means like order out of chaos, I guess you could say. So I'm going to give you guys some historical examples of ancient Greece and Rome. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Let me go to switch the screen here. This fly, I'm going to kill this fly. I'm going to kill him on camera. Okay. So, getting back to this, in ancient Greece, coins often depicted gods and goddesses like Athena, and on the Athena tetradrachm, that's what that is, Athena tetradrachm. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, symbolized the strength and intellectual prowess of Athens. The owl was her sacred bird. It also appeared on these coins. It represented knowledge and vigilance. Okay, so that is good old Athena. And let's see here. In Rome, the denarius featured the emperor's image. Let me see. I don't know if I have the denarius here, but we'll check. I might. I could. I don't know. I'll give you this one anyways. Okay, so the denarius featured the emperor's image, asserting the ruler's divine authority, and the symbols of like the eagle associated with Jupiter reinforced the emperor's connection with the gods. So remember, they had connections. It's who you know. We got connections. Isn't that what, like, think about that. There's a guy in Vatican City that says that, hey, I got connections. I'm the only one that talks to him. Okay. So if you guys want to get there, you need to go through me. All right. You hearing me now? Okay. Yeah. I hope you're hearing me. Yeah. Because I'm serious. I am dead serious. Like, I'm not kidding with you. This is serious stuff. I don't want you to, like, You guys got to take me seriously. I'm not joking. Yeah, it was a little late, but it's okay. During the medieval period, European coins often featured religious symbols. The cross was a common motif. It signified the Christian faith in the authority of the church. So let me tell you something else. When you take a cross and you fold it up, it turns into a cube. And the cube signifies Saturn. And that is the Saturnia. That is the symbol of Saturn. So you see like those people with the cubes on their head right here, on their forehead. Yeah, they kind of look crazy. But that's what they're doing. They're worshiping Saturn. And like in Gaza, they have that cube that they all sit around. And if you look from the top, you should see what that looks like as a symbol, folks. Like it looks exactly like the top of the planet. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing. They're making that again, and it's a cube. It's like a 3-dimensional cube, and you can see the outline of that on the top of Saturn. Okay, so that's what these people. That's why they worship on Saturn Day. Saturn Day. What are you guys doing on Saturn Day? Right before. Well, is it the man? The child of the creator day, or is that the thing in the sky day? I'm not sure, but we got to get that one straight. We'll have to figure that one out together. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave a comment, and I'd love to hear from you on your thoughts on that, because I'm not willing to give up too much, because I'll tell you guys, like, I tell you what, I'm putting this out there, public notice for the whole world to see that I'm willing. Well, no, I won't even. I like this pin, so I'm not even going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that to this pin. I would be willing to give up this paper towel, and it's semi-used. Okay, so I think I wiped my mouth with it after I spilled tea on me, so it's semi-used. But I would be willing to give up this paper towel in case anybody in the Vatican wants to take it. This is my exchange valuable consideration for eternal salvation. So if you want to come and pick this, I'm tendering this paper towel for you guys, so that you can accept my valuable consideration for your offer for eternal salvation, because I think that's probably worth about the same thing. During the medieval period, European coins featured, again, these religious symbols, and the cross or Saturn was on them because they worshiped that. The English penny bore the image of a king with a cross, symbolized the ruler as God's representative on earth. Do you see where they were arguing with the church over who was closer to this creator that nobody could say that they could all make claims to, but nobody could prove that they ever had a relationship with them. And the crazy thing about this is you can't tell the ones that are lying between the ones that are real. And that's scary. That's what the discern is. And that's why there's, Satan only has a few tricks up his sleeve, and he continues to use them over and over, but he's used them in ways that, well, he's become very innovative in those ways. And so we have to be more creative and come closer to the belief that we have what we need. We have everything. We have eternal everything. And it's not because somebody gave it to us. Okay. You guys got to we got to get out of this idea and mindset that somebody has done something for us. Okay. Yes, you be grateful that you're here, but don't listen to stories that somebody gave up something for you and that now, because here's what that does. That creates a paradigm psychologically that you owe somebody, and you don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself dedication and loyalty and love, and that's what you owe. You don't owe anything to anybody else, okay? Somebody and everybody and all the world will try to come to you for the rest of your life and try to get something from you because they want something that you have. Because you're a creator, you can create more. And creators aren't very, very liked because they have abundance around them. And the only difference between somebody who's creative and abundant And someone that is lack of is the way that you think. I know because I used to be deficient. I used to think deficient in my thinking. My thinking was always about how I didn't have stuff. I don't have this. I don't have that. Gosh, how do these people get that? I always wondered, how do people that I always wondered, because here's what I did. I would struggle to go and get a meal, to get money together to go have a meal at a place. I would struggle. And I kept thinking, when I finally got enough money to go eat at this place, I would think, geez, these people have come here 3 times since I've been trying to come here once. I wonder how they do that with like 7 people in their family. I always wondered that. And it was because of my thinking that it wasn't possible for me to be able to do that. It had nothing to do. People say, well, I need money to do that. No, you don't. You need thinking, because money is a frequency that results from thinking. And if you think you don't have it, then guess what? You're blessed. You're welcome. Have a nice day. The universe is not forgiving if you're not specific on what you want. And I'm not saying I want $20,000, 250 and 15 cents. No, I'm not saying specific. I'm saying say what you think and think what you say and mean it. Have faith behind that it's going to be given to you. You've done it before. You just don't recognize it. Something amazing will happen to you, and you realize if you go back and analyze what just happened, you will see that you thought about it. You didn't harp on doubt like you normally do on everything else, and or most things. Some people are getting better, but I'll tell you what, it takes a little while. It takes years, folks. It takes years to unwind what you've been taught to think, how you've been taught to think. Think this way, think negative, think negative, think negative. There's never going to be an outcome. There is no way out. Somebody's going to have to come and save you out of this. That's a programming. That is a programming, because you can teach the same people amazing things and they'll turn out totally different. And I know, because I was one of those people that was taught all that stuff the wrong way. And I don't know what the goal was. Ultimately, I see, where a parent would want to dominate a child to take control of them, I guess, if they didn't have or they didn't know any better. But there comes a time where, you have to be done with that, not do that anymore. And when that time comes, then, you've reached that point where, and doing it with tact. That's the thing, is we have to, there's people that are also struggling through things that we're struggling through. So we have to keep in mind of those things, and we have to play music between these slides. So let me show you guys this next one. I swear I'm going to have a butcher of this fly on my screen, guys. You're going to see me rip a headset off, and I'm just going to turn this whole screen off. I might leave the sound on, but you're going to hear all kinds of karate chops and stuff. And yeah, it's going to be crazy. Okay, so let's see. Let me get back on track here since I showed that. So during the medieval period, European coins often featured religious symbols. The cross, a common motive, I said, signified Christian faith and authority of church. And monarchs like Charlemagne and later kings incorporated these symbols to legitimize their rule as divinely ordained. Okay? These guys are divinely ordained. Isn't that amazing of them? The English penny, for example, bore the image of the king with the cross, symbolizing ruler's role as God's representative on earth. I already told you that. Similarly, the French franc featured the fleur de lis, linking the monarchy to the divine. Okay, so the Renaissance brought renewed interest in classic antiquity and humanism. Coins from this period reflected those ideals with detailed portraits and allegorical figures. Give me just a second. Okay. The Italian florin I'm going to move in windows here. Sorry, guys. Forgive me. All right, here we are. So the Italian florin issued by the Republic of Florence depicted St. John the Baptist, the city's patron saint, symbolizing faith and protection. And during the Enlightenment, symbols of reason and progress began to appear on currency. The all-seeing eye and the pyramid of the Great Seal of the United States are prime examples, and these symbols featured the Enlightenment ideals of knowledge, vision, and the pursuit of a more perfect society. All right? So in the modern era, and this is where I got to switch up. I'm going to have to switch up another. You know what? Why does this show up here? Okay, something's going on. Okay, that's what happened. All right, never mind. I'm going to have to work on this layout thing so I can do more stuff for you guys, because I can do more things on this. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. No joke. No joke. I know I don't have to tell you that because you guys already know just by watching me. All right. So this is the just another example of a piece of currency. In the modern era, currency design has become a sophisticated blend of artistry, security, and symbolism. The euro introduced in 1999. It features architectural motifs like bridges and arches, symbolizing unity and cooperation among European nations. The choice of the symbols underscores the euro's role in fostering economic and political integration. The Japanese yen, and this is going to be another picture, so I gotta keep moving. Now this is a bad picture of that. Okay, so I have some pictures mixed up, but it's okay. These pictures you guys can there we go. So this is modern currency too. All right. The role of secret societies. So no discussion of esoteric symbolism in currency would be complete without mentioning secret societies like Freemasons, the Illuminati. And these groups have been associated with the use of hidden symbols and have introduced various aspects of culture, including currency design. So let's talk about Freemasonry. How about it? How about Freemasonry, everyone? Let's go here. Come on, all you Freemasons. All right. Freemasonry has its rich history in intricate rituals, and it's contributed to several symbols in currency design. And the all-seeing eye and the unfinished pyramid, both associated with Freemasonry, appear on the U.S. $1 bill. And these symbols reflect the Masonic ideals of enlightenment, progress, pursuit of knowledge, and all the shit that they're hiding from you guys. Freemasonry influence extends beyond the United States. Various currencies worldwide feature symbols linked to Masonic traditions, highlighting the global reach of the secretive organization. Okay? So the Illuminati is a more mysterious and often mythologized group. It's also linked to currency symbolism. It was founded in the 18th century, as far as we know. The Illuminati purportedly sought to promote Enlightenment ideals and to undermine the oppressive institutions. While the direct influence on currency design is debated, popular culture often associates them with the all-seeing eye and other esoteric symbols. So conspiracy theories surrounding the Illuminati have added a layer of intrigue to currency symbolism, with some people seeing hidden messages and secret codes in the banknotes and codes. And there is some things in there. So different cultures. We're going to talk about Chinese currency. Both ancient and modern is rich with symbolism. The yuan, Y-U-A-N, for example, it features images of dragons and phoenixes, both powerful symbols in Chinese mythology. The dragon represents strength, power, and good fortune, while the phoenix symbolizes renewal and prosperity. So here's the deal. Let's talk about this in a trust perspective, okay? Because let's talk about this in a situation where if you have an elimination of a significant amount of people, then you have a mass accounting. You getting me? Is everybody understanding what I just said? If you have a mass situation where people are eliminated and these people are what is called intestate, okay? Intestate means that you die without a will. And where there's no will, there's no way. You guys get that? You understand that? Where there is no will, there is no way. All right. And I'm going to read more on this to the class, to the members coming up very soon, because I'm going to show you guys exactly where all that stuff is. Okay. But you got to know that there's symbolism of stuff. We can see both sides of that too. But when you see the renewal as being good, there's things that happen that are not good that are related to that. Like people are no longer here. So when they say that, like you guys have heard, oh, they're harvesting souls. Well, you know what? I mean, the ones that are going to sign up, the ones that want to be idiots, the ones that don't know about their nativity, and that I don't mean idiots in a derogative way, guys and gals. I mean, an idiot defined in ancient language means someone who's not informed of their nativity. So that means you don't know who you are. And if you're not informed of your nativity, then you got some splaining to do, Lucy. Okay? So Indian currency I'm going to talk about is adorned with symbols reflecting the country's diverse culture and religious heritage. The rupee often features images of Mahatma Gandhi representing peace and nonviolence. He's also a Freemason, guys. Traditional motifs like the lotus flower symbolize purity and enlightenment. I really respect the man for goodness, but he's still a member of a group. You know, I think some good comes out of that. And on a level, when you start really studying this really, really deep, you start to see where some of these things are kind of justified. You know, I'm not going to say that like people deserve things, but well, I guess you reap what you sow. And whether that's good or bad, if you're out there generating bad things, then the energy is coming back like a boomerang. And, you know, I want to help people, but I got to be, you know, you have to be honest with you first. So historical coins from ancient India often featured symbols like swastika representing auspiciousness and well-being long before appropriation by other ideologies. And I think I've got some more symbols that I can share with you guys. I do. Oh, that just switched. Look at that. Huh. Now I just figured out another way I can do it, except I didn't do it that way. Why didn't I do it that way before? Well, there you go, guys. You're welcome. Actually, thank you for teaching me. You guys have been amazing. I will see you. Have a great day. Just kidding. Just kidding. Historical coins from ancient India had the swastika on it, and it represented auspiciousness and well-being. The swastika is a frequency, folks. Did you know that if you turn on a specific frequency in cymatics, which is frequency, vibration, and frequency, and using elements like sand on vibration and frequency, like on a woofer, a subwoofer, then you can create the swastika. No lie. It actually creates the little left-handed L's, right? So the logical, or I'm sorry, let's go on. We're going to move on to African currency. So African currencies are vibrant with symbols reflecting the continent's rich history and cultural diversity. The West African CFA franc, used by several countries, shows symbols like baobab tree, representing strength and resilience. Ancient African coins like those from the kingdom of Axum, often bore religious symbols like the cross, signifying religious Christian heritage. So modern African currencies continue to incorporate traditional symbols, celebrating the continent's identity and heritage. I want to make a quick comment about something really fast because I did see it today, and I don't know, some of these people probably don't come and watch when I talk or when I do these videos, but someone asked if there was any like a religious group that was in any particular religious group that was in a particular group. So they went into a Telegram group and said, "Hey, is there any of this religion here?" And I made a comment on that, and I want you to know that I didn't mean any disrespect by that at all. I want you guys to know that I respect whatever you guys do privately, but I want you also to know that I'm not entertaining any religion in the group because it is divisional. It is something that is divisive with other people, among people. It divides people up. It doesn't bring people together. When I start saying, "Well, I'm this," and you say, "Well, I'm that," well, now we just this fly is literally going to die on camera. You guys are going to see an exorcism. I'm going to pull Satan right out of this. Anyway, okay, and I'm going to do it with this. I'm going to do it with a chopstick. No, just kidding. This is like a Mexican chopstick. No disrespect, but that is my heritage. So anyways, we really, when it comes to, well, I'm all over the place right now. So let's just move on. I'm going to move on with symbolism and the modern security features of this stuff. So in addition to cultural and historical significance, symbols on modern currency plays a role in security. There's complex designs. They have holograms, micro printing, and they have the tabs that go through that. It makes it counterfeiting difficult. It's just all it is a company saying, "Hey, we're going to make up a special thing that we're going to use only for our company, and all the members can use it. But if you're caught copying our stuff, we can copy it all day long. But if you guys are caught copying it, you're going to jail because that's what our rules say." And that's called a constitution. Okay, it's passing a debt to another. One passing a debt to another is a constitutor. It has nothing to do with flatulence. Thank you very much. These security incorporate symbolic elements, and they blend practicality with meaning. So the Canadian dollar features intricate designs of national symbols like the maple leaf and the loon. And we're not talking about the president either. These designs are not only aesthetically pleasing, like for the eyeballs, they're pleasing on the eyes, but they're also serving as anti-counterfeiting measures. So a British pound, it incorporates symbols like the crown and the Britannia, reflecting the nation's history and sovereignty. The detailed designs, combined with advanced printing techniques, ensure the currency's authenticity, and durability. Yep. We're going to make a rap song. The future of currency symbol, as we move into the digital age, the role of symbolism in currency continues to evolve. It continues to, they say evolve in this, I say diminish. Because imagine this, you start up here with something that is godly. It's gold or silver. It comes right out of the ground. You take that and say, well, we're going to set that aside. We're going to create our own over here, and we're going to call this the new thing. And the new thing is going to be better than this thing. Okay, this is creator stuff. Okay, remember we talked about this. This is synthetic, like synthetic oil or natural oil, right? Synthetic oil does have a purpose, and synthetic stuff has a use for synthetic things. Like when you machine metal, it has a use to be a non-friction between two metals like that. It can be used like that, but it's not supposed to be used for natural things. Like you don't put synthetic motor oil on your hair, or you don't put synthetic motor oil between your crotch because you have a rash. It's just not something that you do because it's not, well, you're not synthetic either. Okay. So that's just something that we got to keep in mind. As societies explore new forms of money, the need for symbols that convey trust, value, and identity, it remains. But as they continue to diminish the value, saying they're going from something that is godly to something that is diminished. Now, imagine this, we went from here being gold and silver, okay? Then we go down to say, okay, we're going to give pieces of paper that represent this stuff, okay? It looks like it sounds like it, item sewn ends, similar but not the same. This stuff is similar to this stuff, but it's not. It's our version of it. Okay. Then they say, okay, well, we're going to take our version of this and then we're going to diminish that to something else that's going to even get rid of the value that was connected with this stuff up here. And so there's lower values of this up here that are in the forms of receipts, and those are called silver certificates and gold certificates. They are diminished value of the original metal, okay? They represent, they stand for something below what Creator provided. Now, there's no man out there that's making gold, okay? He's not in there in the mountain going, okay, we got to go get this sealed up so that no one knows all this gold is behind all these rocks right now. Nobody's doing that, okay? What's happening is we have a Creator that has natural occurring things, events that naturally form this stuff. And guess what? It's the most amazing stuff ever, okay? It beats anything that Dave gave at his door on Up in Smoke, okay? Just so you know, like there's nothing better than what came from the Creator. It's not replaceable. It is often duplicated, but never often replicated, never duplicated. So as societies explore new forms of money, this need for this stuff becomes more necessary. And that is going to conclude my discussion on the symbolism and currency. And as we've journeyed through ancient times to the modern era, uncovering the hidden meanings behind symbols on our money, I appreciate you guys joining me on this. I'm not done, and I will still talk with you. We're not on Facebook today. I wanted to let you guys know that. We're not on Facebook because Facebook did some kind of weird stuff, and they want some kind of verification, and I couldn't get through. When I went on, it said you need to register, and it wouldn't let me go back and do that. So it's on the website, and this is also on YouTube. But don't forget to tune in next time, and we'll delve into other topics like this one. I don't have a schedule yet, but I will. I'm getting things together for you guys. So until then, keep an eye out for the hidden meanings in the world around you. And yeah, that's it for me. So you guys, if you have any questions, post them in the chat. I'll be happy to address them. Federal Reserve is a private bank, the gold and silver. Yeah. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Aren't you supposed to be somewhere? You're supposed to be on break or something. Anyway, that is really all I've got, folks. So I want you guys to have an amazing day. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I will tune in to see you guys again tomorrow. And I will have another presentation. If there's something that you have an idea on that you want to do a podcast on, or you'd like to see a podcast done on, or a particular story, then yeah, check it out. Tomorrow, I am going to propose to you that we do a podcast on let me go and I'll show you guys really quick. Let's see, I'll show you. I got to find it first. So give me just a second. All right, it is. Here it is. Nope. Here it is. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go over with you guys. I'll share this screen with you in just a moment. As soon as I move it over and close that, and then let me zoom in on this. So, and Benny for pause, thank you so much for like bringing this up to me, because Benny and one of my admins here brought this up the other day, and you know I had seen it, but we're going to talk more about it. I'm going to kind of take this apart, and we're going to go into this tomorrow. So this is a case that was just recently decided in October of 2023 for a Bank of America case, but it was about the Federal Reserve, and it's them saying that the Federal Reserve cannot tell any state what they can and can't do as far as their currency. So Kavanaugh, interesting enough, I have a history with Kavanaugh because I was sending all of my documents. In fact, maybe I'll go over that tomorrow with you guys. I'm going to show you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show going to be on Justice Kavanaugh's relation with my Albany remand, and I'm going to show you how Justice Kavanaugh in the Albany case in Albany, New York, in the Northern District of Albany, in a federal case, he equitably put a de jure and a de facto oath of office, or presumably it was kind of left open for interpretation, but I'll show you guys both of the oaths tomorrow and we'll go over those and I'll show you exactly what they did, because it's never been done. I've never, ever, and neither has other people, have ever seen this done in history, where they created two different oaths and had them signed at two different times. And, well, it all had to do with the federal case that we were creating. We were literally telling them about this happening, and they went and created this while the case was going on. Many times that happened. We had one situation where there was, what was his name? I can't remember the name. I'm trying to think. It was like, it was a biblical name. It was a biblical name. And it was a biblical name that had to do with some historical details. And those historical details resulted in, when we brought up this name, and it was Daniel, that's what it was, the House of Daniel. Okay, so in the federal case, we brought up the House of Daniel, that we wanted this judge by the name of Daniel something to be on the case, because it was just biblical, right? Like, that's literally the topic we were on. And we were hoping that this guy would have an oath of office, and he didn't have one. So it was a futile journey. But there's a lot of symbolism in what I'm going to show you and what I'll put together tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to go over this in detail. We're going to talk about the money, exactly how this works in the money conversion, and exactly what impact this case has, or any other cases. And this has to do with Title 12, so that's lawful money, the code in lawful money. And the Dodd-Frank and Barnett Bank were two different cases that were involved in that as well. So we'll talk about that, guys. I appreciate everything. You guys have an amazing day. I send you much love and energy, and, well, thanks for coming again. Please do like and leave a comment if you can. I'm grateful for that, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So with that, you guys, again, have an amazing day. I appreciate you, and I yield.